Welcome, I'm Tony Cordato. I'm a travel lawyer. Today I want to talk about how to start a tour business in Australia. And this is for people looking to take tours almost anywhere. I get calls from people who want to organise safaris in Africa, people who want to organise treks in Nepal, people who want a yoga and meditation retreat in Bali, people who want a meditation retreat in India, people who want to explore parts of South America. In fact, there's a whole range of tours out there that people wish to organise. What they need is some advice on how to set themselves up. So I'm going to talk about the 7 steps you take to set yourself up as a tour operator in Australia. Step 1, business structure. You can operate in your individual name, or you can form a company and operate in a company name. The risk you take in operating in your individual name is that anything goes wrong in the tour, you are personally liable. That is why most people set up a company and put the risk of the tour in the company. Companies cost money to set up and cost money to run, but on balance, it's worthwhile because that is where the risks lie. Step 2, licensing. Licensing for travel agents and tour operators was abolished in Australia on 30 June 2014. That's licensing to book tours for Australians overseas or within Australia. However, if you're organising tours in protected areas, nature's reserves, barrier reef and so forth, you need to obtain a specific licence for operating in those areas. That is still a requirement. Step 3, insurance. Well, there are 2 types of insurance. The first is business insurance. The business insurance is liability insurance against claims by travellers and other people, and public liability, which is specific claims for injuries. The coverage you get for most business insurance is quite limited, but then the premiums aren't high. So if you're serious, you get business insurance. The second type of insurance is essential, and that is travel insurance. Everybody you take on the tour must have comprehensive travel insurance, which means they are covered for any cancellations, delays, loss or damage to baggage or personal possessions, and most importantly, unlimited medical, hospital, and repatriation expenses. Because depending on where they go, they could be faced with a bill of $80,000 if you had to be in hospital for 7 days in Hawaii. Travel insurance will cover that if it's unlimited. It'll also cover the tour operator, yourself, against claims by the traveller for loss and damage to baggage, injuries, and so forth. Number 4, passports and visas. You must have a valid Australian passport when you're travelling overseas. When I say valid, I mean it has to have at least 6 months validity from the date of your return. So check currency of your passport. You must have a visa, which is the right to enter a specific country in most countries around the world. There are some countries, such as Spain and Italy and France, Germany, that you don't need a visa for, provided you're travelling on an Australian passport and you're there for up to 90 days. So if you're going to do a cycle tour in Spain or in Italy, you just go to the entry gate at the airport, present your Australian passport, and you're admitted for 90 days. There are other countries, such as the USA, where you need to have a visa clearance before you go. And yet other countries, such as India and China, which require a formal visa to be issued by the embassy or consulate of that country before you go. If you don't have a visa when you're flying to a country which requires a visa, you'll be denied boarding at the airport. You'll just lose the benefit of your flight. And visas are not things which can be obtained in an hour or two. Sometimes they take up to a week. Point 5, booking forms and terms and conditions. Everybody going on your tour must sign a booking form. The booking form will have questions in it, such as, do you have medical ailments? Do you have allergies? Do you have a valid passport? And at the end, there'll be a line which says, I have read and understood the terms and conditions, overleaf. Well, terms and conditions are the small print, because there's a lot of them. They've got to be made small, otherwise they go for page after page. The terms and conditions are there to protect you, the tour operator. They restrict the traveller's rights to claim compensation for a whole lot of things, such as delays, change of itineraries, cancellations, and, most importantly, limit or exclude liability for injuries and death which may happen on the tour. Terms and conditions are something that I can help you with as a travel lawyer. Number 6, consumer law compliance. Well, consumers have many rights in Australia, but one basic right is that you do not mislead them when you're offering your itinerary or when you're putting glossy photos and descriptions on your website. Because if you do, you give the consumer the right to make a claim for misdescription, misleading descriptions. It's important to have your website vetted. A travel lawyer such as I will vet your website to check Australian consumer law compliance. Number 7, business name protection. You've come up with this brilliant business name which nobody else uses, and you start using it. If you don't take steps to protect your business name, someone else could use it. So when you come up with your brilliant business name, you check the register to see that nobody else has come up with it, and then you register it as a business name. Once you've registered as a business name, you register it as a domain name for your website. And then if you have a cute logo or a really nice looking logo, you must register it as a trademark. So to fully protect your business name, you register it as a business name, you register it as a domain name, and you register it as a trademark. So there you have it, the 7 steps to setting up a business of a tour operator in Australia. Go out there and do it, and if you want any more help, visit my website, which is www.tourismlegal.com.au. That's all for now. Goodbye.